Sorry about the noise. There's a cat with 6 bells on her.
One for each time she's killed.
Yes. She, and she's going to meow and fuss and everything, but she keeps coming in and out of the room. So yes, she's trying to get into a bag right now.
Yeah, she's been killing birds and bringing them in, so...
Every time that she does, she gets another bell to try and make it easier for the birds to hear her. It never works. She's the Ted Bundy of cats.
Treats and prizes. And she's behind me now. I don't want to be in the vlog. She was watching the movie, though.
Yeah, she was. We just watched CarousHELL, which, if you follow my Twitter, you might have seen the picture I took of watching it with she sort of sitting there watching the screen like, oh my god, I've never seen a carousel horse kill things before.
So right off the bat, it looked...
Oh, before we mention it.
What?
This film is not available yet. I was sent a digital copy of the screener, the review screener, by the director, and I basically asked to do a backseat critique, so...
So if you're the director and you're watching this, I really want to know about the house that you shot in, because I was like lusting after that kitchen the whole time. I'm like, oh, look, they got a KitchenAid stand mixer. Oh, I got a professional knife set. Oh, look at that stove. It's so great.
And you know, Omega only ever does that if A, the kitchen is really nice, or B, she got bored. Which was this one?
Well, no, because they were only showed that part of the kitchen in one scene where the girls talking to the Canadian folks. Mm-hmm. And so I just couldn't... A KitchenAid is just such a wonderful thing. You can't help but notice it. Like, as nice as that actress probably is, as pretty as she is, she was standing next to a KitchenAid stand mixer. And they're like 350 pounds.
Omega
like $400.
Omega wants to have sex with a KitchenAid.
No, they're so useful. My mom still has her cast iron one from the 70s, and it still works. They last forever. That's why they're so expensive. They are durable. You can do anything with a KitchenAid stand mixer.
Very durable. Oh yeah.
Well, you can get it in any color you want. You get chrome. I've seen people got it in like TARDIS blue and then like put like decals on it.
Omega wants it in blue.
Yeah, blue or purple because you like purple.
Yeah, I like purple.
Yeah, but yeah, so there was a stand mixer and I was happy.
But CarousHELL, basically, this is 70 minutes long. It is very low budget, and you know, I say very low budget, I mean really low budget.
But competently shot for its low budgetness.
Yeah,
like, we have seen stuff with higher budgets though that have looked worse.
Yeah, I mean, it was filmed on, by the look of it, high-end digital cameras. Well, not high-end, not a RED or anything, but you know, HD cameras.
No.
It's not a RED, which is a real type of camera.
I believe you.
All the stuff that was filmed outside in the actual fun fair looked really good, really slick, except for the bit where there was a weird blue sort of tint to it, and I was trying to work out if they'd forgotten the white balance, and then I worked out in retrospect, no, this was showing dusk. It must have been filmed in like midday or something, and they're trying to show dusk. But that all was great. The direction was really, really good. It was like really, really smooth cinematic. It looked really different from the stuff that was filmed on the interiors. So I'm not entirely... There was only one guy directed it, so I'm guessing what happened was the interiors had limited amount of places you could put cameras. That's my guess. But this is very tongue-in-cheek, very silly, a little bit scattershot in its approach because, you know, you've got the living carousel horse who can somehow walk around and kill people and generate weaponry. You've got all that. And then you've also got him attacking a party because there was a fat kid who sat on him and he was at the party.
The kid wasn't even all that fat, though. Just a bit pudgy.
Yeah. But then there was long periods where it sort of turns into a really weird sort of modern update of a Kevin Smith does John Hughes type thing as a bunch of people who I assume are meant to be teenagers are in this party just having conversations about weird shit.
Aye. And then, like, the guy and the girl who are hosting it are, like, this universe's equivalent of Bronies, which I thought was really, really funny.
Yeah, the parody of Bronies was great.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was right on point. You have the one girl who says hashtag everything, like a guy that I used to work with who would like to say hashtag, you know, everything.
Was that actually a thing? Because that struck me as someone who...
He does that, like, it's his thing to do it ironically, like,
okay.
Oh, I'm on break, hashtag thank God. Like, he doesn't actually, he's not really... on Twitter.
It struck me as like someone in their 30s writing a 17-year-old girl.
No, like I think that she was written on that way deliberately to be annoying. But
Okay.
this guy that I knew from work would do it like ironically, and be like, "Hey Amanda, how you doing?" #American. He just does it. That's just his thing. When he got a Twitter account, it was I think #DaveInOz because he went to Australia for a while, but it was actually spelled out at hashtag. So the cat is like right here and being cute, so I'm petting her.
But my favorite character in the entire thing is the pizza guy.
Yeah, he's great. Looks a bit like Tobey Maguire, a wee bit.
Little bit.
A young Tobey Maguire.
Basically, this guy, he gets called to bring the pizza, and then he spends the rest of the film just trying to get the $40 back so he can go on, like, he's ignoring being seduced, he's just doing everything he's...
Which I wanted it to be because he was secretly gay.
Yeah, or he just, didn't notice, and then at one point he finds out, and it's like, oh,
he's like,
that's less amusing.
I can't, I'm married to my work, or something like that.
Yeah. He was great, and it reminded me of a less frantic and a less polished early Peter Jackson. Obviously, the special effects weren't quite as good. They're sort of not as numerous and not as exciting as Bad Taste, but they're in that sort of vein. So it was fun. Like you had like the carousel horse like kicking someone's head off, like kicking them there, and the entire top of their head flops.
Yeah, I was
off,
thinking about that. That was a good effect.
Yeah, you got the carousel horse kills people in a lot of interesting ways. A woman has sex with the carousel horse because it was a unicorn, and the unicorns are a thing in this version's of Friendship is Magic, and she's a big fan of them, of the show, so she's all like, it's like having sex with one of the characters in the show, and then, she gets murdered, but somehow, a la Bad Biology, gives birth to some sort of deformed, unicorn, carousel horse, human hybrid monster.
Like you do.
And you had your favorite line about a strip club. Remember the very start of The Mother?
I forget what she said.
The pussy hole has...
Oh yeah, she's like, they've become so corporate since the takeover. And I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little cool one-liners in there, like when the girl is hitting on the pizza guy, and she's like, #pizza zoned. I was like, lol. And you were like, what? And like, get it? Like, friend zone. She's like, oh.
I didn't get
So there were some really clever lines in there. The two incestuous, kids that you are supposed to think are French, but they're actually from Quebec. And we're like, oh.
Right, you Americans are so racist, thinking we're French.
Quebecois. I hate everybody. But love the house that it was filmed in. I really want a big house like that someday.
You want that house?
Well, as long as, like, there's people we can call in case, like, the toilet explodes or, like, something happens. Because I really like that. Maybe we could rent a house like that. Or, like, a condo. Because then you still have the same leasing agreement that you have, like, with an apartment. And then, if the toilet starts spewing sewage in the middle of the night, there are people that you can call, and they are contractually obligated to fix that. Whereas if it's your house, you're shit out of luck. Until you can get a plumber in, and it's, like, thousands of pounds to pay for.
That has nothing to do with CarousHELL.
It doesn't, but I'm just saying.
Okay. There was a really funny... I don't want to say special effects fail, because it's quite clear that they were going for... they were not going for photoreal effects, shall we say, given the subject matter, where the little boy gets run over by a car, which is obviously being driven by a killer carousel horse. And they shot the film. You had like... the shot was like, they had a locked off shot, and then they had the boy standing there being all like, oh, car's going to get me, a car's going to get me. And then they have a separate shot filmed separately, obviously, with the car coming and like and hitting a dummy. So what they have is the boy there, and then at the last second before the two shots collide, they jump cut that one and replace it with the original, this version of the shot from this one, which is the sort of trick I can do. And
well, then why aren't we killing more people in your videos?
Because it's the continuity of lighting and stuff. That's the big problem with that.
And also the fact that we really can't hit dummies full of blood on the streets of Derry because we would have the PSNI on us really quickly.
Yeah. But with this one, I don't know if it was a deliberate editing choice or not.
That's probably why they filmed that part on an abandoned road.
But
I noticed that, by the way.
They had about, I'm going to say half a second of the dummy before the dummy was hit. And So I got the feeling they were deliberately trying to draw attention to the dummy, because I'm really sure that if they'd wanted to, they could have disguised that better by having it like they replace just as the dummy was hit.
Mm-hmm.
So then, therefore, the kid, it's not like they replace him there and it's a jump cut. With this one, you mask it with the impact of the car.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you're not hitting a kid with a car, although that would be cheaper.
Maybe they had to do it that way because there was legally there was a legal boundary of how close the child could be to the car. I mean, obviously...
You didn't need the kid to be close to the car at all. The way they shot this, the kid never was near the car. A completely separate shot. It was just how they cut the thing.
Oh, okay.
Because the car shot is separate.
Okay.
I'm totally explaining this badly, but trust me. I remember when I was in college, I had this shot where I was doing this... I decided just to film an art house surreal film. It was really odd.
Like you do.
No, yes, it was
I
fun.
decide, maybe I'll play some PlayStation tonight. Like, maybe I'll film an art house film.
Yeah, I mean, okay, imagine me in my early 20s, at college, with access to cameras. So, of course, other people do music videos or, like, I remember one guy did a heartfelt drama about two people, crying because their brother was being executed in another room and, stuff like that,
Do you know what I did when I had access to camera? Because I did take TV Production 1 when I was in high school as a last-ditch attempt to push gym class to the second term. Hopefully I could figure out a way to get out of it. Was I got really into stop motion. And then so...
I've heard about this.
Yeah, so I basically... Mr. Zimmerman was the professor who taught... was the teacher who taught this in high school. And so we had really big... Because we had an actual TV studio that was a public access one that people from the community could use. So we had all this equipment. And this was 1998. And so I just took stuff off Zimmerman's desk. Like, so he had this, like tiki guy, like, this thing, and then he had, like, a little Christmas moose and a Christmas mug, and so they had this epic, brawl, and Christmas moose won. And it took me all term, and it went on for, like, I think about 5 or 6 minutes, which, with stop motion, is pretty impressive. Because each take is a 16th of a second, so. But, yeah.
Impressive. But,
You made art house and I made stop motion.
Yeah, so most people did that sort of stuff, or they were trying to be serious, whatever. So I remember the first year we had this sort of competition for we had like a mini Oscars for people who made stuff in my in the college, and the film I worked on won. And this isn't the art house one. This was a parody western where basically we filmed it in the town. We had people in costumes, and we just tinted the whole thing orange.
This is in Stoke-on-Trent.
No, this was in Derry.
Okay. Has this survived?
I might be able to find a copy somewhere eventually.
I want to see it now.
But it featured, the greatest thing in this one, it featured a tripod being used as a minigun.
Huh?
Not even spinning it, just sort of going like, Arr! But, so I made that sort of thing and an art house film. Now this art house film, I did a jump cut similar to what they do with the car, where you had a woman who was sort of, she's locked in a room and weird things are happening to her. One of the things is, the camera sort of cuts to the side and suddenly gravity changes. So she is being thrown around. Gravity's gone wrong in the room she's stuck in. Mm-hmm. So she would not leap into the air and sort of fall on her side. Divas, this sort of random person in my class wouldn't injure themselves for my part. So I convinced my friend Paul to do it as the stunt guy, but we couldn't.
Is this the Paul that I met?
Yes. Now, he looks nothing like her.
He moved to London.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think I can't remember if I told you.
I said he said he was planning on to, but
well, that's what Charlotte told me. So.
He looked nothing like her, and he didn't have the costume or anything. We didn't have any sort of like secondary clothing for him or anything to make him look like her. So what I did was I disguised the fact that I replaced her with him by getting the shot, and I did a jump cut of like that on its side for the entire shot because I was trying to represent that the room was sort of flipping over. So. My point is, with all of this, you can hide a lot of ridiculously obvious stuff if you make some sort of movement at the same time. That's why I was saying, if you get the kid and you're placing with the dummy just the second the dummy is hit, then suddenly it goes to... And suddenly the change is disguised by the movement.
Okay.
They changed it just before the movement, therefore made it more noticeable.
Maybe they did it on purpose.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it was deliberate because it's so easy to... Either there is a thing I don't have the raw footage, obviously. Either there was a reason technically that they didn't do it that way, and maybe it looked terribly, I don't know. Or this was stylistic. And a lot of the shots, they were really holding on the special effects, which were cool but not brilliant.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I mean, like, if you can pull off special effects like that, I mean, and if that's where a lot of your film's budget went, you know, show them off.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, it's Hold on, the cat wants to go out. Well, go on, then. I mean, like, it's obvious that this is not, you know, a blockbuster, multi-million-dollar production. Everyone understands this is low-budget horror. Yeah. So it's not like people can be like, oh, did you see that effect? It looked fake!
And when I say it didn't look brilliant, I'm definitely not comparing it to Schizophrenic, the Horror Mangler, where a person got their neck cut and they had a plastic thing in front of a real cut that was spewing blood and you could see the ends of it.
Better than anything we could do, obviously. I mean,
yeah, it was fine. It was perfectly okay, perfectly serviceable. You know, it looked cool. But my point is that they held on them for longer than the shot than flowed in the shot, and I really think they were trying to hold on the shots as a way of sort of being as a tone thing for the film, just being like, look, this is ridiculous, hold on it. They were not.
You could just ask the director, actually.
I could, and
you're the director, write the show.
He may well watch this, and so was it deliberate choice?
Well, I should hope so. If he wanted you to do a backseat critique of it, he's probably gonna watch it. Like, no, I can't look.
Were you the holding on the special effects of deaths and like the woman getting her head kicked off and stuff like that? Was that tongue-in-cheek sort of you know, we're low budget and this is gloriously silly, or was it a case of the editor felt of holding it there for a narrative reason? Because I got the feeling it's the first one, and that's perfectly cool.
But yeah, you know, you do you.
Yeah, I like this film. I want to see more films with the same guys. This is really fun.
I like how that one girl tased him. She's like, just taser. I was like, a taser makes everything better.
And you have the topless lesbian for one shot?
If I had a taser, I would just, nobody would be safe.
Oh, what sort of family keeps a random coffee machine in the fucking hall?
But that's so convenient, though. Like, when your guests are, would you like some coffee?
There's coffee in every room.
I guess you could say that they put that there for the party. Like, they had another appliance, like a blender or something that they needed to plug in the kitchen or something. And like, you know what? I have an idea. It's one of those things that those brilliant but stupid things you come up with right before, like, I know, we'll put a bowl of nuts here on the stairs, and people can help, you know, like, when you're running around getting ready for a party, it's like, oh, this will be grand, so it will, and...
I'll put this coffee here just in case a woman needs to throw it in a guy's face.
Well, that was still appreciated.
Even though, and he reacted as though he was in pain, but he wasn't at all scalded, so I think he just really liked his shirt.
Because I was thinking, like, wow, I mean, having been a barista, I'm like, yeah, that coffee burns really nasty.
Because one of the brony guys, he's got all these...
No, the only brony guy.
Well, the two... I was talking about both of them. I was using an asexual.
Okay.
I was using... Guy is a male term, technically, but it's on the sort of... it's on the androgynous side of male.
Fair play.
But he is using these sort of New Orleans-style sort of beads, and he gives them out...
beads.
That's the name, okay.
No, that's what they are. Not okay, that's what they are.
Okay, that's the term. I couldn't think of the term. I love you. He gives them out to women in exchange for them showing her tits. So randomly we get that's how we get the topless shots in the film. And one of them is just this random, really dykey lady comes in. You know, sort of not really dykey. She's a bit dykey.
Not to cast aspersions on the actress.
She's a bit dykey. She's like you.
She did have a bit of the gaydar going on, and I was like, everyone's lesbian friend.
Yes. So she's about as dykey as my wife. And she just randomly walks in. He's like, would you like some beads in exchange for some tits? And she's like, do I? Pulls up her top, walks out, takes the beads, walks out, never seen again.
No, she's in a crowd shot.
Well, she doesn't die.
And she was running away with some other people, like going this way in the room. So I guess it was implied that she was either killed off screen or she escaped to Pride.
Very progressive film. You did not bury your gays.
Everybody else died, though, so you can't really call it bury your gaze if everyone in the slasher movie
they
dies.
Didn't. If she survived, that means they didn't.
We don't know that she survived.
I'm guessing she
did.
I
was assuming that everyone that wasn't killed on screen
I want CarousHELL 2, Lesbian versus the Horse.
The noise is the door because it's very windy outside, and my roommate has his windows open, which is making a kind of vacuum thing, which is making, like, wind in the... It's complicated.
There is a CarousHELL-horse, human-woman sex scene, which I am hopefully going to add.
Because the second I realized that the girl was a brony too, I'm like, she's gonna fuck that horse. And you were like, yep, probably. Yeah.
I'm going to actually hopefully add that scene to my archive of amusing clips for future use in reviews, because she started quoting Chirpy while the sex scene was going on.
This is because we showed it to an audience in the Channel Austin panel at Alcon, so it was in my mind.
We showed Chirpy. There will, hopefully in the next week or so,
Film Brain recorded
an Alcon audience watches Chirpy, and there was about 30 people watching it.
Yeah, people actually came to our panel.
Not like last year.
Last year we had like 12 people. This year we had quite a bit of people.
Yeah.
But also this year, Anita Sarkeesian wasn't brought up, so I think that helped things a lot.
So, all in all,
CarousHELL.
CarousHELL is
a good
fun.
showing, despite its low budget.
I don't know if this is actually got a distribution deal or not, or if you contact the makers or whatever. But if it doesn't, it should. I mean, it's far better than a lot of films Troma does. I mean,
I'm guessing when it is made available for distribution, the director will let you know so you can tweet about it.
I hope so. I mean, I want a legitimate copy.
Watch Twitter with bated breath, and you could own this yourself.
I mean, I've only got the digital download copy, which is it's a Blu-ray quality copy, but I kind of want a physical disc because I like having the films.
Especially if it's like, if you're able to write a movie, write a screenplay, conceptualize it, get the money together, or just fake it when you can't get the money together, and actually get a finished product out of it, that's great. That's amazing. That's more than I've ever done. Yeah. So, I always support independent people because they're independent.
And, I love the work of Kevin Strange. And this is far better than early Kevin Strange.
That's true.
At least on a technical level.
That's true. There's statistically less motherfuckers per scene than there is in Kevin Strange.
Well, I'm not talking about script or anything like that. I'm just talking about...
No, I mean script and actors.
No, I like the way he makes his actors act. It strikes me as... It's very unique to him, and I think it's like an acting style. It's
like low-budget ICP.
No, I will defend his style of acting. What I'm talking about is the quality of the special effects and the camera quality, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And even the choice of angles. Like Kevin Strange, he got better with every film he did, which was wonderful to watch. So this, if this is a first film, you got a good start. I mean, this is better than The Battle of the Bone. There's a fuckload of first films that this is way better than. So I cannot wait to see the second one.
Is this his first film as director?
I think so. If it's not, then I am happy to be corrected, and I want to see some more.
You didn't do that thing where the credits are really, really, really bad, and they take up 5 minutes because everyone has to have their name in Comic Sans or Old English font. Badly.
You remember Manborg? Manborg has like 7 minutes of credits.
Yes, but Manborg is awesome.
And Manborg did that because they contractually needed to have a film of 70 minutes. But then, hilariously, they still were 5 minutes short and they couldn't stretch the credits anymore. So they had to spend more money than Manborg cost on a 4-minute fake trailer for Biocop.
Yeah, but that was still good too.
Yeah, it's the Incredible Melting Man if he was a police officer, and it's awesome.
If you haven't seen Manborg yet, go get it.
Manborg's amazing.
It's not about the killing, it's about family. So that was CarousHELL, and it gives our thumbs up.
Yeah.
So go on and see it when it comes out. You will not be mistaken. Not mistaken.
Disappointed?
Yeah, that's what the word I think of.
Well, they might be disappointed if they expect, I don't know, an adaptation of Proust.
We just told them what to expect.
I know, but if they forget all that, and they're like, we're not talking to the audience here. Just like generally, someone might think, CarousHELL, was that a piece of work by Chaucer? I will watch this film. I don't remember this events in Chaucer. Oh, disappointed.
I doubt there was a carousel horse in the Canterbury Tales.
So do I, but this person might not know Chaucer as well as they thought.
My favorite Chaucer joke was made by Dave Barry, where he was criticizing how you had to read Old English stuff in class, and he goes, it was, the Canterbury Tales was full of stuff like, on a summer day when soft was the sun, I killed a young bird and I ate it on a bun. And sun was spelled S-U-N-N-E and bun was spelled B-U-N-N-E, and I laughed for like 5 minutes. In a summer season when soft was the sun, I killed a young bird and I ate it on a bun.
Not enough ass comments to be Chaucer. Did you know that in the first season of New Who, they met Charles Dickens and he said, "What the Shakespeare?" And whenever they met Shakespeare in season 4 of New Who, or season 3, It was originally in the script, but they changed it. He was going to say, "What the Chaucer."
No, that's stupid. No, don't do that.
I thought it was a funny idea.
I don't think
ridiculous because Dickens is not actually in What the Dickens is not a reference to Charles Dickens.
Yeah, I'm sure they said that before him, and I'm sure he was not the only person with that last name.
It's just, it's a coincidence.
It's like what happens if you, fall asleep and like your husband like knocks you up in the night, and you're like, "What the dick in me? How did this happen?" And then it got shortened, because language evolves. So anyway.
Are you suggesting that Charles Dickens was a date rapist?
No, it just happened in the the medieval times.
Okay.
Oh, what's the dick in me? And you'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I slipped."
Oh, no, it's a reference to that time that Captain Hook raped Smee. Oh, what's the dick in Smee? Dickens.
Yeah, he wouldn't, but
Dickens Smee.
But Smee wouldn't talk about himself in the third person, so Hook would have to be saying that.
Someone else watched it, obviously.
Well, he'd have to be saying that only if he was like Snapchatting at the same time, like, "Lol, Smee, I'm tweeting this."
Yeah. Although you could.
This really got far away from what we intended.
Captain Hook raped Smee. Let everyone know that on Twitter. It totally happened.
Watch CarousHELL. And that's all from us. There we go.
Yeah. Or if it's not got a distribution deal, ask Troma. I mean, Troma puts out a lot of shit hundreds of times worse than this. I mean, dudes. Star Worms 2. Actia Maximus.
Or the Alien Dinosaurs.
I can even go to films that I have not actually reviewed. There's one called Pulse. There is Frostbiter. There is Wizards of the Demon Sword. There's a hell of a lot. Dude, Troma.
Troma.
Bye.